Hi guys, Kim Jong Lee here, back with another episode of Piper's adventure in the Cup of Nations, and we've got Piper here again with the Seleucids against Uralissimus of the Brothers-in-Arms clan with the Carthage faction. So Seleucids looks like 3 scythe chariots, 2 militia cav there, 3 militia cav, 2 cataphracts, 6 archers, 5 silver shield legionaries with no upgrades, and peasants. I believe in this match it was 14k for Piper and 15k for Uralissimus. So Uralissimus build 6 gold sacred band, not gold, maybe gold silver, and some silver sacred band. 2 sacred band cav, 3 round shield cav, 5 round shield cav. Is that 5? 2, 5, 6 round shield cav, sorry. 6 round shields, 2 sacred band, 6 slingers. So I'm actually pretty interested in this build from Uralissimus. We've got a spectator up the back there who is Zazu. Anyway, we've got quite a bit of light cav from both sides. Uralissimus with 6 round shields, which is actually pretty weird, I'd say. I'm not sure if that's weird. It's a bit weird to me. Very infantry heavy as well from Uralissimus. So I think his strategy here is to try and take out all of these archers and these silver shield legionaries as well. But that's going to be pretty tough. I feel like the silver shield legionaries are a great pick from Piper. I mean, they've been working pretty good for him these past couple of games that I've commentated on. These silver shield legionary picks have been pretty good against other pike factions, especially. So that's part of the great thing about Seleucids is their versatility. The legionaries stack up really well against pike factions, and the silver shield pikes stack up very well against barbarian factions, and yeah, the cav is some of the best in the game, so not too much to complain about with the unit roster there from the Seleucids. But the Carthaginian unit roster isn't too bad either. But yeah, you really want to kill these archers and the silver shield legionaries as well, because the silver shield legionaries here, even though they're unupgraded, the peel is going to be pretty strong against these sacred band pikes. And I feel like a lot of light cav here. What I am going to question Uralissimus on is how he's going to protect all these slingers, because without cav advantage you can't protect your missile units in CWB, and that's where all this militia cav is going to come into great use for Piper, because he's going to have a field day if he just protects these militia cav units with maybe some chariots or something. Then it's going to be very dangerous for Uralissimus to take engagements, and it's going to be easy for Piper to just smash into some of these slingers. And Uralissimus hasn't made any effort to spread his infantry out to protect his slingers as well. So if, you know, some cav strikes come in, then it's going to be difficult for Uralissimus to protect them with his infantry. So I feel like that's a bit of an error. But yeah, maybe Uralissimus is deciding to go on the offensive now, and this is really weird. Yeah, not the best engagement there. Oh no. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Losing 3 cav units for free, basically. Not what you want to be seeing. Okay, I feel like Uralissimus' plan are kind of falling apart now, but anyway, we're gonna see some round shields caught out there. I think what Piper's got to try and do is just kill all the light cav, and that pretty much shuts down Uralissimus' game plan. Because without light cav he can't chase archers, and you're just gonna have a field day. And Uralissimus hasn't shown any sign of trying to protect these archers with these infantry units, which is actually quite worrying, because if your infantry units, you're only thinking of them as an endgame unit, then that's going to be really wasteful. You're not going to be using them effectively for a lot of the game. Some chariots getting caught here, but they're going to be able to escape, I think, pretty handily. Killing quite a few Sacred Band there as well. But yeah, the Sacred Band cav coupled with these infantry, it's gonna be tough to even chase down these just 2 archer units. I love how Piper's keeping his Silver Shield Legionaries really far away, because they're not gonna get caught by anything now. Maybe a bit of mis-microing there with some cav units just not really participating for Piper. But I guess a lot of the action is very spread out. A lot of slingers gonna be getting routed there. Militia cav going one-on-one against these round shield cav, and the round shields are gonna rout. I think these militia cav are being underestimated very severely by a lot of opponents here. Militia cav, I think, are the MVP of a lot of games that I've seen so far. And Sacred Band cav, unfortunately, not going to be able to do much now. They're going to be pretty stuck here, especially with the presence of these Scythe Chariots. They can't push that way, they can't push this way, they can't push this way either. The Scythe Chariots have just got them surrounded, boxed in, and the arrows are going to just come and kill Uralissimus no matter where he runs now. So this is what I'm thinking, and correct me if I'm wrong, if you're, a Brothers in Arms member or Uralissimus, and you think I've got this all wrong. But I think Uralissimus' game plan at the start was to go on the offensive with the light cav and really make a lot of trouble for Piper trying to protect the archers, and then kill a lot of archers and then get into an endgame box with the 6 Sacred Band. I think that was his game plan. But I think he could have leveraged his own slingers a lot more, a lot better. I think he should have tried to protect his slingers with the Sacred Band infantry, at least, and then try to protect his slingers with the Sacred Band infantry, and then and then gone out with the light cav, and tried to use the slingers to shoot some things, because the slingers here were a really poor investment for Uralissimus. They didn't. I don't mean they're strictly bad, but they didn't seem to do much for Uralissimus, especially with the way he uses infantry. I don't feel like I don't feel like he got the most out of the slingers that Piper's going to get out of his archers. These archers are going to be able to shoot all the arrows, and that's pretty bad news for Uralissimus. Because whenever you have even 2 or 3 units like this shoot out all their missiles, you're going to be losing a lot of guys. There's no question about that. And yeah, I feel like again, it is tougher to play infantry heavy games than cav heavy games, period. In CWB especially. It's a lot more difficult to try and win with an infantry heavy build than a cav heavy build. So when you don't have the cav advantage, it's pretty difficult, I think. And assuming both players really know what they're doing and are really good at CWB, it's a lot more difficult for the infantry player to get an edge. There are exceptions, of course, but I think the chariots kind of just weigh it really, really heavily in the cav side. If it was just heavy cav, then light cav is actually quite good against heavy cav, and that would have been a pretty good counter. So I think Uralissimus' build would have countered a cataphract heavy build very well, but unfortunately there are only 2 cataphracts, I think, out here from Piper, and 3 scythe chariots, and scythe chariots are terrible for this kind of build, because you try and chase archers with your little ponies, your round shields or long shields or whatever, and then these scythe chariots are faster than you, and they just tear you to pieces, and you can't do anything about it because you're not even fast enough to get away, and you are the fastest non-chariot unit in the game. You can't outrun the chariots. So I think chariots really just threw a spanner in the works there for Uralissimus, but regardless, I think it was going to be an uphill climb either way. And yeah, his build I don't think worked out for him very well. A lot of units scattered everywhere for Piper. I think that, like, I'm not sure why he's got Silver Shield Legionaries in like 5 different parts of the map. He got archers scattered everywhere, which makes sense because Uralissimus has been chasing them down. But Uralissimus really only left with these infantry units here, so I'm going to speed it up because I feel like the end is going to be pretty obvious. Like, Uralissimus is going to get the end game he thought was going to happen, so he's going to have the box up. But the difference here is that he hasn't managed to take out all the archers as he hoped he would, and he's still got to contend with the legionaries. The good thing is, on the bright side, these chariots are going to be pretty useless as far as actually getting through the pikes will go. So they're going to provide a bit of fear for Piper, but they're not actually going to be able to do any damage to the pikes in a box, because chariots just melt onto pikes in a box. So Uralissimus has that going for him, but apart from that, I think, I mean, if you just look around, that we know there are 5 Silver Shield Legionaries around. 2 archers here. 3, 4. 4 archers is too many. Like, I think he has really good infantry, so I think he'd be able to maybe tank 1 full archer unit. I'm being serious. Like, he'd be able to tank maybe 1 full archer unit of arrows before his guys just lose to Piper's infantry and cav combined. But with 4 units that add up to... These guys add up to about 2.5 units worth of archers. That many arrows going in, like, that many archers worth of arrows going into your spearmen, you're probably not going to survive the peeler from the Silver Shield Legionaries and the Cataphract charge as well. I just find it very doubtful, and it is a bit unfortunate. He's even got another archer unit here. That's just adding insult to injury. 5 archer units, so that's probably like 3 full units total worth of archers. But like, that many arrows going into these guys is too much. Like, these guys can be gold, and they would not be able to withstand this. So, a bit unfortunate here, but I think the ending is predetermined. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Silver Shield Legionaries still left. This one's only got 20 guys, but that's still 20 guys worth of peeler. The rest are quite healthy. These 2 Scythe chariots are out of the equation really for Piper. They're not going to be doing much. Unless Uralissimus panics and starts sending units out individually. These Scythe chariots are most likely not going to be getting straight into the action, unless maybe right at the end when everything's already routed. But yeah, it's going to be these infantry units first. So he's going to send in his Silver Shield Legionaries first, throw the peeler in, get engaged onto these pikes, and then probably find a weak spot to send these Cataphracts in. And 2 Cataphracts is, I'd say, easily enough to break these guys, with, especially if when you consider that there are going to be 5 Silver Shield Legionaries pounding away at them. I think 2 Cataphracts is going to be enough, but he's also got these Militia Cav as well. If that's any, you know, they're not going to do too much, but it's still something. It's still something you can put into the fight. But yeah, I think Uralissimus just didn't do enough with those light cav units, and I mean, it was tough for him to do much from the get-go, really. I think the light cav units get really stumped by chariots, because when you push out with the light cav units, you rely on them not being able to get caught by the enemy heavy cav, but the chariots can catch you, so that really sucks. So yeah, that was really unfortunate. The 2 Sacred Band cav, like, I think they were just there to protect the infantry, but, I mean, they're dead now. And I feel like the Slingers were kind of the thing that Uralissimus could kind of compete in, if you know what I mean. So, with the slingers, I feel like he should have tried to protect the slingers with his infantry. Maybe loose formation the infantry, and then put one in each slinger or something like that, or maybe even tight formation would be fine. But like one for each slinger maybe, and then yeah, try and stop Piper from killing all your slingers, and let your slingers have at the archers and things. I think that would have been a bit more effective, but I can't say for sure. I feel like Uralissimus did his best though, and can't really fault him for that. I feel like he was trying a build that, in his mind, countered something really well. And I guess if Piper brought a 6 cataphract build and like 2 companions, then that might have been alright. Like if his micro was on point, he might have been able to just take out a lot of archer units without too much incident, and then box up from there, and that would have been pretty decent, I think. But unfortunately, Piper brought chariots, and that's always a bummer for this strategy. So I feel like Uralissimus has tried to hard counter something too much, maybe a bit too much, and it might have just cost him here. That being said, Piper played pretty well. Yeah, Piper recognized that he had to save his archers, so that's why he's got 5 units left out of the 6 you start with. And that's pretty good, considering Uralissimus went for a like a 6 round shield cav build. Considering that, and you have 5 archer units left, that's not bad. Granted, some of them came back from routing, but still. Of course, that was made a lot easier by the 3 side chariots he had that he put into his build. And it is more difficult to counter chariots as Carthage than maybe you'd expect, because Carthage only has slingers, so they don't have the flaming arrows from the archers. They've only got slingers, and their pikes are short pikes, so they're not the long pikes, and that's not as good against chariots. So Carthage is a decent faction, but I think Seleucids have a lot of room to kind of push them around with, and yeah. So I think all the arrows have come out now. We can look at the troop numbers here. A bit healthier than I expected, actually. But I think after this peeler comes in, and these silver shield legionaries start getting to work, it's not gonna be as pretty. Yep, a lot of peeler gonna come in now, and I think Piper's manually peeling these as well. So now that he's going in the front, Piper just thinks he's won. But fair enough. Yeah. These guys are silver, these guys are unupgraded. But I think Piper kind of expected an endgame box strategy to come out from Uralissimus as well, and that's why he's brought these 5 Silver Shield Legionaries. Silver Shield Legionaries are quite good against endgame box strategies, because they're really difficult to run down with light cav, first of all. Like, if a light cav tries to engage a Silver Shield Legionary, he just turns around and kills the light cav unit. But yeah, that's partly why, and they're pretty good in these endgame situations like that end up with a little box, because they do have the testudo. Some legionaries don't, but these guys do, and they have the testudo, so they can push through some of the pikes potentially. And of course, the peeler is really valuable as well. It's almost like they're a missile unit. So that's you'll see a lot of players treat legionaries like that, where they just treat them as an endgame missile unit that they can bring out. So it's kind of like head hurlers, but for every other faction that's not Britannia. Kind of like skirmishers, I guess, except obviously better in every respect. So it looks like Piper's gonna, not sure, maybe he goes for the testudo push. That is a 31k style thing, but if he wants to implement it here, he very well can. These archers are probably going to just stay here and inflict morale penalties. You can choose to engage them if you want, but yeah. Are these testudos? Oh, they are. He's going to use the testudos. 31k coming into play right here. But yeah, testudo's going to come in from Piper. So that's pretty nice to see him using some knowledge from more common to 31k. I won't say exclusive, because they're obviously used in CWB as well. But these are chariots and archers really just providing morale penalties onto these guys, and these guys are shaken. Well, some of them are steady, some of them are shaken. But yeah, if we have a look, we've got 5 units here: 10, 23, 18, 7, 27, 21, 24, so maybe 3.5 full units, something like that, of silver Sacred Band. But Piper's got 4.5 full units of unupgraded Silver Shield Legionaries there, so... ooh, nice bursting there from Piper. Gonna get into this box. Oh, he's sending the archers in as well. I probably wouldn't have sent the archers in, because I don't want the archers to mass route and the rest of my guys to go as well, which can happen some of the time. It is rare though, and when you've got this much pressure going in, it's pretty cool. Oh, he's sending the chariots in as well. Oh, okay, that's unexpected. But yeah, some of the units routing, but these cataphracts is what's going to seal it. There we go. GG. Very well played game. I think quite a clean win for Piper there. So victory to Piper. Better luck next time, Uralissimus. But yeah, I think Uralissimus had a good crack at it for what it's worth. I think his build was not a bad idea. I'll put it that way. I don't think it was a bad idea, but I think maybe he should have maybe practiced it a bit with, you know, some of his clanmates like Zazu or Gamblekara or someone like that, and maybe helped him to refine it a bit and find out what works and what doesn't. That might have helped. So well played to both players. Really enjoyed this game. I'll see you guys in the next episode.